This is the four-man rush. Hello, Panther fans, and welcome to another podcast of the four-man rush.
All that tanking.
I mean, bro.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Should have pulled an Eli.
I'm saying.
I'm not going to Jacksonville. I wonder if he could have pulled that off, though.
Probably had the clout to do it.
Yeah, I think he could.
And Fields or Lance would have went.
Zach Wilson would have went.
Right.
Be there 5 years and gone.
Mm-hmm.
Bless his heart. West Virginia Flash is available. Will he get picked up? West
Who we talking about?
Flash.
We talking about Tavon?
You talking about Will Greer?
Oh
true.
yeah, must be. Yeah, somebody pick him up.
I was about to say Tavon Austin got cut. No, I didn't think he got cut.
Tavon.
I thought Will Greer had a better preseason than PJ Walker. But you have to remember it's probably 75% practices, which we don't see, and 25% preseason. So maybe there's just something PJ showed in practice that Will didn't have. And I just think when it's close like that, you just go with the more explosive athlete, explosive thrower. If your backup quarterback's in there, it's not like you're going to be throwing for 400 yards. So at least PJ can make plays with his feet should a play break down.
Exactly.
And he's Matt Rule's guy. So if you want to be out the coach's son, you got to go above and beyond.
Right.
Look, I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. My boy went in his wallet, pulled out his old Temple school ID, slammed it on the table. Slammed it on the table. It was like, Coach, I'm Temple tough, though.
Right.
All right. Hey, I have to get to Matt Rule. He's consistent when it comes to that. We'll talk about that more in a minute. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Marc from the Steel City Blitz podcast. What's good, Marc?
Well, preseason's over. That's what's good. I mean, it's like that. It's like that thing you just have to go through in order to get to something better. I mean, there's a lot of fun stuff. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you guys know that. Just talking personnel and what the teams are doing and everything else. But yeah, I'm ready for the regular season, big time.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Marc, here you have Will Harris, part of Four Man Rush, of course. Film breakdown extraordinaire, I'm gonna have to say, and JaDarius here. He also has his Twitter handles the Panthers Den, I believe, right, bro?
That's correct. Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
Yeah, man.
Well, good.
Doing well.
Awesome.
Doing good.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem, man. I hate that you had to come on after that showing on Saturday,
Yeah, that was especially after our first three games where, they win, loss, I don't care, but we looked halfway decent. I mean, it was just ugly. I mean, from the beginning, Dwayne Haskins did not look good. Nobody looked good. Our offensive line is an absolute mess right now. So I was glad when that game ended, believe me.
Oh man! So I guess Marc, we'll talk briefly about what you saw. I guess from a more technical standpoint, from the preseason game, and I guess what you expect going forward with the Steelers.
Well, I mean, against you guys, I just saw an ass kicking. I mean, I saw a team that, Coach Rule was pretty adamant that he was going to play his starters, offense and defense. Coach Tomlin went in the complete opposite direction and said, we're going to start very few starters. Some of our guys aren't dressing. Some of our guys aren't even making the trip. And there is a drop off in the NFL between first team, second team, third team. We all know that. But I was just troubled by our lack of urgency. I mean, for so many guys fighting for roster spots, maybe even practice squad spots, it just looked like we had zero interest in being there, and that's really unusual for a Mike Tomlin team. As far as you guys, I mean, I thought Sam Darnold looked good. That's as good as I've seen him look in a while, to be honest. We put a little bit of pressure on him. He did a good job in the pocket. and we're going to face more mobile guys than he is. So we've got to do a better job there. There's no doubt about it. And then, I thought your defense looked pretty solid too. Your secondary was really, really good. I thought it's our offensive line. It's an absolute mess. I never dreamed in 40, 50 years that the Steelers offensive line would look this way, but Here we are. That's where things are heading into the regular season.
Isn't that something? Yeah, most folks who've watched the Steelers, over the years, it's always been some nosebleed, distributors up front for you guys, man. And it's kind of like the woes that we're having right now, man. We don't have that stout punch them in the mouth kind of game like we used to. It's more like bubble screens, flashy kind of stuff. Will mentioned last podcast was that pretty boy bullshit that man, we don't just move people off the line of scrimmage anymore, man. We just doing this flashy stuff. I guess, are you guys dealing with that too?
Well, we've changed offensive coordinators, and now we're dealing with Matt Canada, and Matt Canada has been, I swear the guy has coached at every stinking university in America. He's got a good track record. He's there for a couple of years. The offense is top 10 nationally. It does great, and then he either moves on for whatever reason, or the numbers start coming down. People start to catch on to what he's doing. We were really vanilla in the preseason. His offense is all about pre-snap motion, pre-snap resets, and we did very little of that. So I don't think any of us as Steeler fans really know quite what to expect. But in his offense, it's not as much straight ahead smash mouth stuff. It's much more get the defense going the other way kind of stuff. And it's different for Steelers fans. There's no doubt about it.
This is not the Steelers of old, folks.
No. That went out the window years ago, actually. But this is definitely a change.
Oh man, Will, do you want to ask Mark anything or?
Yeah, this is some positives. What'd you think of your goal line defense? Your Haskins didn't really put your offense and your defense in the best situation, but they held us to 3 points on those first 3 drives in your own territory, and I think we finally punched one in. I'm thinking on the third series.
I don't know what it is. It's it really goes back to Cowher and certainly Coach Tomlin. When there is that rapid change in possession, our defenses traditionally, whether it was under Dick LeBeau or now Keith Butler, we do a really good job of forcing teams to do things they don't want to do in the red zone and down by the goal line. And more often than not, we force them into field goals. That's not true every time, obviously. And I don't know what that is in the way that we coach, the way that we prep the players. I know we work heavily on our red zone offense and defense, so it's not totally surprising. But, yeah, there was some positives there, and those weren't exactly starting guys. Those were a lot of guys that just today either found out they were tail end on the roster or maybe are looking at practice squad. So, yeah, I don't get me wrong. There's always positives in any game, no matter how bad you win or lose. But that was a decent thing to take from it.
Good point. JaDarius, if you have anything to ask.
Yeah, today was final cut day. So were there any surprises coming across the cut wire?
Man, we were surprised at a couple things. The Steelers, number one, only kept 4 cornerbacks. Normally they keep about 6. So right off the bat, that tells us they are like shopping right now. They are watching the waiver wire. They are going through it with a fine-tooth comb to see what cornerbacks got cut league-wide, see who might be available for trade. And then we also cut B.J. Finney, who was a guy we picked up in free agency when he was undrafted as a rookie. He had a really nice go here for a couple of years, moved out to Seattle and then Cincinnati and came back. And I think most Steeler fans looked at him as, okay, he's going to plug right back in. He's going to be that number one option to be your swing guard, play some center too. He got cut too. So there's definitely some things going on. And as you guys know, your 53-man roster is never your 53-man roster 48 hours afterwards. It always changes. And we know that. It's just those were a couple of things that were definitely surprising for us.
Yeah, true. Yeah, we're going to talk about our 53-man here in a minute. It was some surprises, but not a lot. Mark, you want to approach this question here?
Yeah. Big positive fit. Steelers. What are you, man? I am concerned about. Let's see. I'm gonna name this 1, 2, 3. I am concerned about the offensive line,
right?
The offensive line, and the offensive line. Okay, and I hate to be cheesy about it, but that's where I'm at.
That's facts.
We have a young man, and it pains me because Chuksa Okorafor is from my alma mater, Western Michigan University, and he just is struggling at left tackle. Now this week he has slid back over to right tackle, which seems to be a little more in his wheelhouse. Now they've got rookie Dan Moore at left tackle, and let me tell you guys, Dan Moore was getting the tar beat out of him at the beginning of OTAs and everything. And I have rarely seen a young man progress the way he has, to the point where he's looking at a possibility of starting as a rookie left tackle for the Steelers. So yeah, it's offensive line all the way. That's my big concern. I would put a slight, thing at nickel cornerback. We got to find somebody there too. But I think those things are going to take care of themselves this week.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I was going to say, you sound like a Panthers fan, bro. the offensive line situation, man, we've been talking about that for months. It's a problem.
It's frustrating, isn't it?
It really is.
Our problem was we knew we needed offensive linemen. We knew it. But Najee Harris is sitting there. I mean, do you pass on a guy like that who's a generational talent perhaps, and he has done nothing in Pittsburgh to change that outlook? He has been awesome. Should we have drafted an O-lineman? I don't know. I mean, ask me in another 6-7 weeks and I'll know for sure. But it's you guys know as well. It's frustrating when you see teams like Tampa Bay and like Cleveland just assemble this awesome talent at offensive line. It's just
it's frustrating. It is frustrating. You got that right, buddy. Will, you have anything else to ask Mark? Or
the only thing I heard was you had a big fight at practice the other day.
What is going on in Pittsburgh, man?
I'm old school, and I believe 100% that fight is a result of the fact that Minkah Fitzpatrick has not been able to hit anybody else in a different uniform. You guys know when you've been practicing and practicing against the same guys over and over and over, the slightest little thing is going to set you off. And I'm willing to bet Claypool did something or said something, and that's when it went at it. And I am concerned about this, not at all. I don't think this is a big deal. This is just guys that need to go play football against somebody else. But I admit it was kind of funny, because we hadn't had any of that. First time we really had it.
Yeah. Hey, Mark, this is Kevin Avery, of course, CEO of the Four-Man Rush and all that good stuff, man.
Hey, Kevin.
What up, Mark?
Extraordinaire. Kevin, well, he said the three major problems with the Pittsburgh Steelers is the offensive line, and the offensive line. Does that sound familiar to you? I'm just throwing it out there.
Cousin Mark. What's up, Cousin Mark?
I see you're feeling the same thing, huh?
Boy.
Man, look here. At least you've had a decent left tackle in the last decade.
Well, and he's in Baltimore now, and now I got Ravens fans texting me and tweeting at me saying, hey, he's not as good as we thought he was. So
go figure.
I know.
Yeah, man. Like I say, we still, instead of going to Nordstrom's, we still shopping at Target. So, it is, man.
I'm telling you, the weird thing too is that our GM Kevin Colbert he's had a good couple of years. He's done a lot of really good things, but But if they can't get this line put together, that's going to be a huge cloud over his head. People are going to be wondering, man, why did you not do more to address this? And it would be very fair game.
Yeah, definitely considering the age of Roethlisberger, coming off, the injuries. I mean, you got to protect your best chance, that's going to lead your offense. And like I said, when have you ever known in the decades? I can't even say in the decades the Steelers not have a power running game. Like,
yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
I mean, real talk. Like I'm gonna keep it $100,000 for you. I mean, Panthers my team number one, but if I was to ever cheat, it'll be the Steelers. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because it's just because of the history. Because I like rugged. I like rugged defense. You know what I'm saying? But y'all, come on, Steel Curtain. Come on now. We're going back in the day. You know what I'm saying? I mean. Just that overall, I like y'all front office just as much as y'all team. I only had 3 coaches, you know what I'm saying, throughout the tenure of your team. The excuses we make, Mike Tomlin be like, nah, fuck that. I ain't losing since I've been here. You know what I'm saying? We missed 1 or 2 players. We say, well, that's why we went 5-11. He had a 3rd string quarterback, 4th string offensive line, still went 8-8. You know what I'm saying? That's the stuff I'm talking about right there.
Well, look, Mike Tomlin is a really, really good football coach. It gets wrapped up a lot of times because he uses a lot of cliches. He used something this past week about squirrels squirreling their nuts or something, and Steeler Nation went nuts. There's already T-shirts. I mean, it was hilarious, some of the stuff he comes up with. But the guy just knows how to get things out of players. He just does. And yeah, he's got a real good staff around him. He always has. But he's just a good football coach, and I know Steeler Nation gets fed up with him. Sometimes he screws up clock management, and yeah, he does. I've been the first to say it. But man, if you put him on the market right now, you would probably have 29 teams calling right now.
Oh, immediately.
And that's the truth. And yeah, 8-8 in a year when you're really using a rookie backup and then a rookie 3rd string quarterback, your defense is banged up and you find a way to get there. And, last year we lost Bud Dupree, and the offensive line was really a shell of itself last year, and we still managed to win the division. So it's going to take an awful mess for me to start saying, okay, Mike, time to move on. I mean, and I don't know what that would even look like.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting hole to fill right there, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, Mark, man, I appreciate you coming on, bro. We just wanted to, run things by you real quick, and give some information for our fans out here, man. I'm sure they got family and friends that are Steelers fans, I'm sure. Oh,
sure. Hey, we are we're SteelCityBlitz.com. Follow us on Twitter at SCBlitz. We're on Facebook. Facebook.com. Steel City Blitz, Instagram, all that fun stuff. We do our podcast once a week. In fact, we're going to do ours here in about 15 minutes, as a matter of fact. So I'll have plenty of energy and have enough time to go crack another adult beverage. So, check us out all over there. And, yeah, thanks again for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
Hey, what was that Twitter handle again, Mark?
At SCBlitz.
All right,
and then mine's at Steel Dead, which is right there.
Yeah, it's right there on the screen for you folks. Yeah, man. Well, Mark, I appreciate it, man. And tell your co-host we said what's up, and we'll see him on old TPPN.
Well, absolutely, man. We've really enjoyed it, and we'll definitely see you down the road, guys.
Yeah, man. Best of luck to you, man.
Thank you. Same to you guys. Beat those Buccaneers, man.
Hell yeah.
Fuck a bug.
We gonna try.
I'm gonna say what y'all been holding in. I say it for you.
All right, buddy.
No promises.
Good night, guys.
See ya.
Later.
She love it, we out in public and we can just chill with my partners, or we can go back to my crib and just chill under covers and do we call me and you lovers.
The Four-Man Rush is brought to you by the love and respect of and for the Carolina Panthers and Carolina Panther fans everywhere. Keep pounding. The Four-Man Rush is a non-affiliate of the Carolina Panther organization. All thoughts, assessments, and content of this podcast is directly related to the Four-Man Rush exclusively. Thank you.